What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. I'm back at it again with another reaction. Oh man, it feels like when the beef first happened. There's so much to be able to make content on. Apparently, Drake was stealing again as far as with the track on this new project, and he, I guess, addresses the rap beef in this new track, Give Me a Hug, from the project. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you leave, like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. We're on the road to 10K. Appreciate all the OG members and new members. What's good with you as well? So let's go ahead and get into this. I personally have zero intentions of listening to this project. I heard it was like over 20 songs or something like that, over 79 minutes or something, just some crazy amount. I'm good. But if y'all want to see it, if y'all want to see it, if this video gets 100 likes, then I will schedule. I don't know if I could do it as far as on live. We'll see. If anything, I'll go live and then maybe I'll go on like a set up like a Discord or maybe even a Twitch and have y'all go on there so that way, you can see my reactions on YouTube and you can hear what I'm listening to via those particular things. I don't know, but I guess if I'll get this 100 likes, then I will react to the project. But yeah, let's go ahead and get it. Is this from the Ville? I think I've reacted to one of their stuff before. If not, I've watched them. So let's get it.
Well. It looks like Drake decided to diss Kendrick Lamar and his enemies in a new song. It looks like Drake
Which
had
is so
finally dropped the Party Next Door album, the collaboration album that they had together. But this song in particular doesn't have Party Next Door. It's just Drake. It's a solo track by Drake called Give Me
that's
a Hug.
interesting.
And before we get into the lyrics, bro, I'm just going to tell you right now, I've heard this song multiple times already. This track right here is the most contradicting track that Drake has ever made. But he does call out a few people. He does call out a few people that he's had some issues with in the past. We'll take a look right now. So you can see here that in the lyrics of the song, the first person off the bat that he addresses is Kanye West. Kanye West had made a video in an interview where he talked about the elimination of Drake. In the first verse, Drake says, "Yeah, Drake elimination, fake intimidation. Take a minute, take a deep breath, have a little bit of patience." And then he keeps going on, Drizzy, you're amazing inspiration. The shun rhyme scheme. We talked about that in the past. But anyways, elimination, fake intimidation. This goes back to Kanye West. Obviously, when Kanye had did this interview with Justin LeBoy,
Yeah,
he had said
I
this
heard that.
specifically when he talked about the elimination of Drake. That's where that first came from, was from Kanye West.
Very excited about the elimination of Drake.
Now, obviously, this is in regards to Kanye West saying that when he had did that interview, talking about the Drake elimination, saying that he's not intimidated by it or whatever the case may be. Going down a few lines after this is where he starts to diss Kendrick Lamar. He says, "You Neo in the Matrix, these guys just Nemo in the ocean. Small fish making kids feel emotion." This is basically Drake trying to take shots at Kendrick Lamar, saying that he thinks he's Neo, he's the one, in the Matrix, and then calling him a small fish. Making kids feel emotion. I don't know how I feel about that one. Making kids feel emotion is kind of wild, but he's referring to Finding Nemo
For real.
and Neo from the Matrix. But then coming back and calling him a small fish, also referring to Kendrick's size. This is something that
I these bars are not even good, man. Like what? What? Here's what's so Here's what's so aggravating that Drake and some of the Drake stands take when it comes to Kendrick. Like he's trying to be this messiah figure and things like that. And I'm just all like, someone had said it. I think it was the Glasses Malone interview, and he was just like, yo, Kendrick's actually very mean. But I think within that, he had said that the appearance that we see of Kendrick is what Kendrick is aspiring to be. He's still a work in progress. So And Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper pretty much, said all of that. But my thing is, why, just for the sheer fact that you talk about anything outside of drugs, having a bunch of women, the material life in general, and you're just trying to drop some nuggets, talk about the stuff that you've been through, you're now being labeled like this messiah or this prophet or different things like that. And Kendrick has denounced all of that. But, you know, saying you Neo in the Matrix is the whole Nemo, that whole line was just lazy. It's lazy. It's lazy writing, so it's just all like,
Drake has been running with since the beginning of the beef back in push-ups when he was calling out Kendrick about his height. And one thing that I noticed, that even though these are subliminal shots to Kendrick Lamar, I can't help but to think that he's still afraid to call him out by name.
Oh yeah,
that's one thing that I've noticed within this track. So again, right here in the first verse, still failing to address Kendrick Lamar by name, but there's more to it when he starts speaking to himself here. He says, using you for promotion, truer words have never been spoken. This is Drake talking about himself, how they're using him to sell. This is him running with that narrative that they need him to do whatever it is.
And that narrative is annoying as well. The narrative that Kendrick doesn't have no hits, the narrative that Kendrick needed to create controversy in order to sell records or to push a project, which hasn't been the case. Maybe for other people that might be the case, but Kendrick is good on that. Drake is chronically online, so it's just all like, a lot of what I feel like Kendrick, how he moves, I think it just burns Drake up inside. It just aggravates his old inner demons. And it's just all like the audacity for people to just really act like Kendrick hasn't been doing this. I heard people saying about the whole Super Bowl. Oh, I just want to dance. I ain't trying to think. I've heard that from several people, especially Maul, Rory Maul. There was a couple of people. There was a dude from Britain seeing these TikToks, and he was saying that, and I'm just all like, shut up. Somebody brought up a good point with the fact that it was boring because you didn't have a bunch of almost naked women out there. The women were clothed and modest? What? Oh, can't have that. You have one side who will sit up there and be like, oh, black people and Kendrick this ghetto, music, and they can't do X, Y, and Z, da 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 da. And then in the same token, when someone does do something that's thought provoking and different things like that, oh, it's too much. It's too much. It's too blackity blackity on Black History Month. Okay.
That they do with his name. But like I said, in this beef, it takes two to tango. It takes two people to beef with each other for this to sell. Yeah. And this is kind of a contradiction as well as here, because this is Drake using the beef to also promote this album. So it's the same thing, talking about how if Kendrick used him for promotion, or all the enemies that talk about him use him for promotion, but you're out here talking about the beef and using it for promotion as well. So that was definitely one contradiction that I caught when I was reading the first verse. But so far, he's already took two subliminal shots at two artists, Kendrick Lamar and Kanye West. He says they want to see R.I.P. me on a t-shirt like I'm Hulk Hogan. I appreciate the fans rocking with me. This is just a small token. And then this is where he addresses everybody that's been waiting on his downfall. With the lines lower down here, he says, funny how it's only bish guys that are waiting on the boy's obituary. Because if I go, it's these guys that become the sole beneficiary. And what the F are they going to do with it? This is Drake just saying that without me, who else? Who would? But we already know, bro. Kendrick, he beat you. Talking about how it's only him and he only wants him to be at that spot, that number one spot, and can't even fathom anybody else taking his position. But clearly he's saying this because he knows that his position is in jeopardy after this beef. So this is him
Yep.
speaking on this, but we've never really heard Drake speak in this regard about the beef and his position in the rap game. And then this, in the second verse, the beat switches up. This is where he starts shouting out the people that have been looking out for him, and as well as dissing other people that have been calling him out, specifically Joe Budden and the people at the Joe Budden podcast. He says, "Savage, you the only guy checking on me when we really in some shit, brother. Melissa Ford, you a legend from the six. Hate to see you with that sick ducker." Obviously, this is a diss to Joe
Wow.
Budden, as well as bringing up his co-host, Melissa Ford, who is also from Canada as
Wow.
well, taking shots at her for choosing the side of Joe Budden, than not her fellow Canadian. Really offended by that situation there. And then also bringing up 21 Savage. 21 Savage was a person that was looking out for Drake during this whole time, I guess. Future isn't looking out for him. But like I said, at the same time, calling out Joe Budden. And now it makes more sense why he went at Joe Budden in the very beginning. At the very beginning, before this song even came out, Drake had took shots on his Instagram against Joe Budden. It looks like there was a real reason for that. Now it looks like he wanted to let him know that he had a diss track ready for him on this new song, where he's calling him out and he's calling him a
Oh,
sick
this
ducker.
is.
But not only does
Eh. Joe Budden had a very freaking perfect response. He's just all like, he said something along the lines of, "I'm not beefing with a corpse, a walking corpse." Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Catalog. Yeah. These are not singles, these are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase all of that in the link in the description. And just, check it out because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So, anyways, the thing is that ultimately, as an artist, it is just a wild thing to see. Not saying Drake is the first artist to let his ego or pride, get the better of him. We've seen it time and time again. But the level of artistry that Kendrick continues and is always displayed is crazy. But the stuff that Drake, I'm reading these lines and I'm just all like, this just sounds super lazy. This is why like, I go back and listen to my tracks. I go to make sure I don't repeat lines. I go to make sure certain things to the best of my ability, and I just couldn't even like after this long in the game, Drake. These are this is ass. I think he was saying in the first verse something like I'm a visionary, that's why I'm not married or got a girl or anything like that. And it's just all like, sir, I don't know if you know what a visionary is. Um, but even just saying this, like, Savage, you the only one checking on me, and it's just all like, at the end of the day, you have made this bed. You have to lie in it. And him dodging accountability, trying to play the victim. I honestly, even if Drake were to just send direct shots at Kendrick, personally, Kendrick doesn't even need to respond. Kendrick doesn't even respond. It's like one of those people who always lose, but they just keep on coming back and they think that if they just wear you out, then they can get that they can finally get that W and then they quit. That's what I feel like Drake is trying to do, but even that he's failing at it. He like horribly, like jeez Louise. But I'm gonna leave the full video in the description. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, back at it with another reaction. Make sure to like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 10K. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.